So welcome back to my YouTube channel and my podcast. Today I'm going to walk you through exactly how I plan for every single month within my business. I have loved using this process. If I don't have a higher level idea of what I'm doing every single month, it makes it really hard for me to decide what to do every single week. So I started implementing this process pretty early on in my business and has been something that I've been doing for like 4 years now. So I wanted to share that system and the behind the scenes of how I schedule everything out like that every single month. So I use Catch Moyer's quarterly calendars. This is just a visual tool to help me figure out what I want to focus on every single month. It kind of has like one monthly focus, and then you can break that down into different like tasks that you have, and it also has like an area for notes and things. So if I have something that's a little bit more like miscellaneous or not related to my monthly focus, I still have a space to write it down so that my brain knows I need to assign myself some time on the calendar sometime throughout that month to work on that. So for example, it's February right now as I'm filming this. My monthly focus was on redoing the SEO for my website, but something that I have to do within my business that's super important is my tax prep. So I wrote that down as a note, and I made sure to block off some time on the calendar to focus on my taxes, because otherwise they wouldn't get done, because I would keep pushing it until it's like the very, very last second, and that's no fun. So I'm going to take you kind of behind the scenes to my actual quarterly calendar so you can see how this is all broken down visually for you to see. Beforehand, before I started using these calendars, I would do that on my Google Calendar. I just had a separate calendar that was kind of like my business tasks, and I would put it on there. So if you don't want to have like a printed out version of the calendar, you can still use this system and do it within Google Calendar. You could do it within Asana or Trello if you use either one of those two. I kind of take this and I will actually translate it over to Asana, because that's what I work out of day to day, but this calendar sits right behind my desk, so I can reference it whenever I want as well. So I'm going to show you what that looks like behind the scenes right here, right now. This is the quarterly calendar that I mentioned from Catch Moyer. I'll have it linked down below in the description, but this is the quarterly one. I don't know if you can see it, might be off camera. She also has a yearly one, so at the beginning of the year, I'll kind of start with the yearly one and just map out any like weddings that I already have on the books, any vacations that I have, my family's like birthdays and stuff like that, so I'm not booking clients on any of my like personal days, and I kind of have like a general overview of the year. But every single quarter I take that and I start filling out this one, and this is really the bread and butter of what I use kind of like quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily within my own business. So each quarter has 3 months, and you can write out the dates and the name of the month for every single month. And then here, at the top of every single month, it says monthly focus. So you can see in January, my monthly focus was my website launch. There's a little box that says success standards, and then it says notes and things. So these little stickies I have are just like the 5 to 7 things that I have decided I really want to focus on each quarter. And it's already past January, so I kind of have it covering these notes. But every single quarter, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and write in a monthly focus for each month. So each month, that's kind of what I'm focusing a lot of my time and energy on. If I am not doing client work, then that is what I'm working on like day to day within my business to kind of move my business forward. So what I do is I first write out this monthly focus, and then I write out the success standard. So what would make that month a success in terms of like completing any of these monthly focus projects. So February, for example, for me, it's working on SEO and the SEO for a new location for my website. So a lot of work that I'm going to be doing in February is going to be focusing on making sure my website and my SEO is up to date with moving to a new city, which is super exciting. And so here I'll also have like different notes and things. So like other things that kind of have to happen throughout the month as well. So for me, that looks like creating the rest of my Q2 content for the podcast, batching some client tasks, tax prep needs to happen in February, and just like any other things. And then what I'll do is I'll literally take these, like this project, and break it down into different like tasks that kind of have to happen, or like you'll see here it says SEO and show it. That's because I'm giving myself these 2 days to work on my monthly focus. And then another thing, like I mentioned, is creating my content, right? So for this little guy, like podcast and content Q2, I have a corresponding sticky it's a piece of washi tape actually, really. I'll link it down below that I got from Amazon. And so I have different colors that mean different things. So this light blue is kind of like for my clients. Green is shoots for me that I know that I have. Yellow is editing. This dark blue is kind of like big business projects. The gray is like my content, so my content creation days. And my purple is for my students, my courses. I basically will take each one of these and then block off specific days that I'm reserving to work on those specific tasks. So that's how I get a really big overview of what I'm going to be working on day to day within each month. This is really helpful for me, for my brain, because if I don't have a plan of what I'm going to work on, I tend to waste a lot of time or work on things that aren't exactly very important. Like they might be the urgent things, but it's not important things that are moving my business forward. So this gives me a really good monthly overview and helps me think at a high level of like what I need to do when in order to complete the projects that I have on my plate. So what I'll do after I just map this out, at the start of every single month, I'll actually go into Asana and kind of translate this into Asana so that each week I have like a weekly focus that shows up on the Sunday. I'll take you behind my computer screen right now so you can see exactly how this looks like in Asana. And you can kind of see like how these dates and like these stickies really translate over to my project management system, because that's what I'm using every single day and looking at the tasks that I have assigned to me to work on that every single day. Okay, so this is behind the scenes of my Asana. So this is kind of my homepage. So it just shows me the tasks that are due soon. But what I do when I'm planning out my months is I will go over to here. I'll hit my tasks, and you can see this is a weekly view of my tasks. So I'll go out to the monthly view, which this might look a little bit crazy. And what I do is if you see these little green guys here, I will make sure I go in and add these. So if I am setting a new weekly focus for this month of March being moving, because that's what I'm doing this week in March, I would just type that, like click on here, type it out, click on this guy, and what I do is I just hit Tab T, which allows you to tag it, and I just tag it with weekly focus. You can actually change the due date. So if you want to show it on Monday, that's how you can move it around. I don't add it to a specific project because I don't actually need to like track this in any way. But if you wanted to, you could probably just add it to your Biz HQ and then have it be under, I would probably put it under my like monthly little list here. So you can see if you go to the Biz HQ, this is like my business headquarters page. So it just added it here under the February's list. So that's a little bit of how I was set almost like a weekly focus. And then every single week, I really will work out of this view. It lets me see everything that I have going on for the week. It's color coded depending on whether it's like a client or back-end business stuff, or this pink is like my marketing stuff and tasks to do. But then seeing this is like the only thing that I usually have due on a Sunday. And so it tells me, okay, I'm really focusing on creating my solo episodes and doing SEO, show it updates. So as I'm planning out the week, I'm going to look at this focus. And then if I need to add on a task to do, then I'm going to do that. So say for example, I need to say, show it SEO updates to main 5 pages. I would just add in a task here. It automatically is already assigned to me because I'm working off of the My Tasks page. And I could just, again, add this to a project and have it be under February. So that's a little look behind the scenes of how I translate my monthly focus over to Asana, which is what I am working out of every single day in my business. So hopefully this is helpful. I'll have her calendar linked below. So if you want to grab your own copy, you can do it there. So she has like the template, and then you can get it printed at different places. I got mine from Staples, and I got it laminated so that I can just reuse this quarterly one every single time. If you're loving this episode, I would love for you to swipe a page or 2 out of my free resources library. I have a free class all on the systems you need to quickly grow your photography business. I cover 3 key systems that you need in place to be able to grow your business and triple your wedding bookings and go full-time in less than 1 year. I also have another quick little freebie just for you. I am letting you swipe my booked wedding client questionnaire. Whenever I have a wedding client book, I always do a little happy dance and then personalize their client experience with this questionnaire. It gets me all of the details that I need right up front, right when they book, and sets me up not only to figure out what sets me apart from other people in the market, figure out more details about them and personalize their wedding experience, and help start planning out their engagement session and more. Be sure to go to manaliphotography.com or see the show notes to grab either one of these two freebies, and I can't wait to see how it helps you grow your business.